Congress is inching closer to a government shutdown after more infighting between those House Republicans. Speaker Kevin McCarthy yesterday tried to bring up a Pentagon spending bill, but his efforts were stalled by far-right Republicans who are refusing to budge on spending levels. The failure to move legislation forward that usually passes with bipartisan support is raising concerns from other House Republicans that a shutdown is growing more likely. Joining us now, Democratic Congresswoman Veronica Escobar of Texas. She is national co-chair for President Biden's re-election campaign, and we want to talk with you also about the migrant crisis. But first, if you could just weigh in on where we stand on a government shutdown, and is there any way to inspire Republicans to move forward?
Well, good morning, Mika. It's wonderful to be here. Thanks for having me on. You know, here's the problem. We are literally days away from the federal government running out of money. The Republican conference, led by Speaker McCarthy, has essentially iced out Democrats. In other words, we've not been allowed to really provide amendments. There's been no bipartisan compromise. There's been no reaching across the aisle to fund the government and find answers to some of America's most challenging issues right now. Speaker McCarthy has said, we're doing this alone. It's going to be a Republican-only bill. Leave it to us. Well, the result is they have not they've only passed one appropriations bill. There are, a dozen bills that need to be passed. We're running out of time. And even the extremists who Speaker McCarthy has turned the gavel over to, even they aren't going to vote for the bills, even though they're getting much of what they want. So I am really concerned about the state of governance right now in the House of Representatives and our ability as a Congress to do our fundamental job of funding the government.
So, Congresswoman, this government shutdown drama is intrinsically linked to the impeachment inquiry of President Biden. There's a sense that Speaker McCarthy was going to authorize the inquiry to try to appease the far right to vote for the spending bill. That may not work, but the train is barreling down the tracks on this impeachment inquiry. Give us your read on that and what Democrats are going to do about it.
The impeachment inquiry that the Speaker announced, the fact that he's linked it to an appropriations process is outrageous to me when, reporters, members of Congress, colleagues keep asking what's the evidence, and there is no evidence of any wrongdoing. They promised to impeach President Biden, before he was sworn in. These are some of the same people who denied the outcome of a legitimate election in 2020. And so Speaker McCarthy really has painted himself into a corner by linking these two, making it even harder for Democrats to come to the table in many respects because they haven't shown their cards. They haven't shown any evidence. We are going to, I sit on the House Judiciary Committee, so we will be playing a role in this, and we will work to expose the fallacy behind many of their claims. We're going to point out fact versus fiction. And we hope that the American people are paying attention, because what the Republican Party is doing is trying to distract from the fact that they can't govern.
So, Congresswoman, I would love to talk about why you're in New York City today, looking at the migrant crisis. A delegation will be meeting with immigrants in New York City, many who've been brought there. But also tell us about the Dignity Bill.
Well, thanks, Mika. Yes, I am here on the invitation of two of my New York colleagues, Representatives Adriano Espaillat and Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. And, El Paso has frequently been in the spotlight when it comes to the system, the asylum system that has now been overwhelmed because we have been really on the front lines of receiving migrants at our nation's front door. But other communities like New York City, Chicago, Illinois, Denver, Colorado, other communities in Massachusetts are now feeling the same kind of pressure that El Paso and other border communities have felt. And I think it's really important for members of Congress to understand the consequences of congressional inaction. Because while there are some members of Congress who blame the president, really the responsibility of legislating around this issue is on Congress. And it has been 37 years since Congress has passed a comprehensive immigration reform bill. It's long past time we do it, which is why I sought support and collaboration across the aisle with my colleague, Representative Maria Salazar from Miami. And together for several months, we worked quietly on a bill called the Dignity Act, which literally would address all of the challenges that we are facing today. It doesn't give Democrats everything we want. It doesn't give Republicans everything they want, but it is an important starting point. And my message to my colleagues in Congress is come to the table. If you don't like provisions in the bill, sit with us and let's work on a solution together. Tell us your alternatives. Let's work in a bipartisan manner because the status quo is unsustainable, it's inhumane, and it's unjust.
Yeah, and a lot of folks are, especially Republicans, are complaining that, the Biden administration isn't doing anything. Here's an example of a bipartisan effort to get something done. So we thank you for bringing that to the table.